Somebody said they saw me dancing with the devil's daughter. Hell yes, I tried to take her home. I could have listened to my sweet angels moaning. Doesn't any young fool think he knows right from wrong? You must be a strong believer to walk this walk with me. A strong believer just to walk this walk with me. And have you ever seen a snake without a tail? Is your broken heart is it too big to fail? I need a witness, baby, and I know you need a friend. I've been told again and again, you must be a strong believer to walk this walk with me. Strong believer just to walk this walk with me. Nights. Looks like a choice, it's a sacrifice. You're not the first, just the only one who can pick me up now. Come undone, baby, strong believer. Strong believer. Strong believer. Strong believer. It always feels good to get the happy songs out of the way. How about it for my band, Bob Beach? Every now and then I do play a show without Bob. You're part of a duo and we lose one guy.
You're like Batman without Robin, right?
It's like half a band, man. This is a short tour, 5 shows in 5 days, and this is the 5th show, and we're all warmed up now.
And you're home.
It does feel like coming home. I'm so glad we could be here.
So are we.
So are we.
Yeah.
Kind of become an annual thing.
Yeah, the places you get to come back to, that's what really makes being a touring musician, that's what makes it worthwhile, makes it fun, lets you relax and feel connected to something a little bigger than your own self. And we're just glad you all are here.
Thank you.
was standing on of old Route 242, but she couldn't have been much older than 21 or 22. And so I pulled over and I offered her a ride, and she threw her pack in first and she climbed up the passenger side. Well, I asked where she was going. She said, I know where I have been. And I asked if she had someone, and she said he got what came to him. Yeah, she looked out the window as the rain turned to snow. There was something I could not see, yeah, further from the road, further from the road. So we rode an hour together, maybe two at the most. And I felt like I was dreaming. Yeah, she looked like a ghost. I let her off by the old paths. Yeah, she said anywhere was fine. She did not seem to leave a track. She walked into the pines and further from the road. From the road, yeah. Sometimes at night I hear that mountain call. Early in November when the snow begins to fall, I get lost in those woods. I get lost in my own head, lost among the living, lost among the dead, as I go further from the road. From the road, hey, from the road, hey. You might see her out there on that lonesome trail, somewhere in the shadows, so strong and so pale. Well, maybe she went up on that mountain, never to come down. Yeah, she could be living still in some forgotten town, further from the road. From the road, further from the road, hey, hey, hey. The road, hey, yeah. yeah. Further from the road. Thank you. I bought a tuner so I'd have something to look at in between the songs.
Pretty lights.
Yeah, right. There's a dark paper shack at the end of the clear cut. Blackberry vines for a front yard. I am living out on Powerline Road, drinking rainforest water out of mason jars. I thought of Oregon. This is not what I had in mind. 2 months of short summer and the rain lasts until July. On that Hurricane Railroad, on the Hurricane Railroad, well, the first time I saw you, baby, hands and knees in the garden dirt. Did you hit me, baby, just like a hurricane, girl? You're a heart bigger with a gypsy soul, and you're a killer, but you don't know. You stole the secret to my rock and roll, leaving me down at the end of the line on that Hurricane Railroad, on the Hurricane Railroad. To ride, I wanna take you to the other side. 2 trains pass in the night on that Hurricane Railroad. Oh, you could be my corner of Princess Spear. I wanna be your medicine boy. You can bring me down by the rivers, one silhouette under a harvest of blue. I'm out here on the baby, just trying to do my thing, singing these Delta songs and burning gasoline on the Hurricane Railroad. On the Hurricane Railroad, on the Hurricane Railroad. on a hurricane rail. Well, I met a woman, she was twice my age. I guess she liked the thing I did on stage. She said she loved my blue eyes. She got kind of mean when I said I read your letter, but my eyes are green. I said, thank you, nice lady. I said, thank you, nice lady. I appreciate your offer. I'm previously occupied. Yeah, then I met this gal with an ex-boyfriend.
Oh, that's true. It comes later in the song. Don't tell anybody.
I've got
You'll
one.
never
I won't
know.
say one. End that, Roger.
Okay, as you were.
Yeah, then I met this gal. She was 17. She was the cutest thing you ever have seen. She read me like a page from my favorite book. She told me her age. I took a second look. I said, thank you, nice lady. Where's your mother? I said, thank you, nice lady. I appreciate your offer. I'm previously occupied. Yeah, I don't care if you come in gloves or mittens, baby. I'm not looking for cougars or kittens, just a little bit of true love, someone in between 31 and a
63.
Well, then I met this gal with an ex-boyfriend. She said it was over between her and him, and I was not worried. Not until my next gig, he was sitting in the front row with that Jack Nicholson grin. Help me say it. I said, thank you, nice lady. Oh, let me hear it. Thank you, nice lady. Do it again. Yeah, thank you, nice lady. Oh, yeah. Thank you, nice lady. I appreciate your offer. I'm previously occupied. It's a good thing you know how the songs go.
What? You would have missed it, girls.
You sure don't want me playing the harmonica. Would you all like to sing another one with us? Can we? Well, I've got one in mind. It's a request.
for a song we actually know. That's how we know our fans here.
Your fan.
Yeah. That was a joke. Should we show them how it goes?
Sure.
Well, I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Buy me a ticket for a train, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Go ahead. Well, I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Buy me a ticket for a train, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. And outside the night is changing from green to black to gray. The color in my mind is rearranging. I'm going to Raleigh on a train. Well, I tried my hand in your card game. I have never been the gambling kind. Today I feel lucky. I used to be a prisoner in my own mind. Now I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Buy me a ticket for a train, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. And she says that love is made of diamonds, and I say it's made of glass, sharper than a winter morning. Tonight I have no words to get it back, but I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Won't you buy me a ticket for a train, boys? I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. You see me at the back of a rail car, some kind of silence in my eyes. Well, don't ask me no simple questions, I won't tell you no easy lies. You could have me mistaken for the shadow of a man who good love had forsaken. Would you believe I never gave a damn? And I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Buy me a ticket for a train, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Without a question, and a train is a question without a rail. And sometimes words lose their meaning. Tonight I am with Pilgrim on a train, and I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Buy me a ticket for a train, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way, boys. I'm gonna Raleigh all the way. Won't you buy me a ticket for a train, boys? I'm gonna Raleigh all the way.
If you want to. Is that what you're out for?
Can't do the same show we did last time. When I started playing guitar, I was living in Eugene, Oregon. I was 8 years old, and my mom bought me a guitar at a garage sale for $10. Great guitar. And,
Smart mom.
and she made me practice, and I didn't know any chords, so I just played anyways. And eventually, she talked me into taking some lessons, and that first teacher I had, Emily Fox, she was the one who introduced me to the blues. And we would listen to Mississippi John Hurt, and we'd listen to Elmore James and Robert Johnson. And then I went to see Taj Mahal. Yeah, I went with my dad to the Woodsman of the World Hall in Eugene, Oregon. And there was Taj Mahal. He was up on the stage all by himself with a guitar and a piano and a harmonica. And man. He did the boogie real slow with the blue lights way down low. You know? The blue light was shining right down on him. It was like they planned it. And I kept playing, and I got a gig. I got a gig at a place called Icky's Tea House, which was the only place I could get a gig in town because they didn't serve alcohol. Although I was told later that you could get anything else you wanted there. And I would open up for a reggae band. They were a real big band in Eugene at the time. They had between 9 and 13 members. It was hard to tell who was in the band, who wasn't in the band. Sometimes there were more people on the stage than off the stage. Which still happens to Bob and I from time to time.
I think there might be somebody here that witnessed that.
And the reggae band, they had this keyboard player. If you've been to a big rock and roll show or any kind of big show, you've seen the band, the keyboard player takes up like half the stage, right? You know, they've got the Steinway grand piano, they've got the Moog synthesizer, the Wurlitzer electric piano, the Hammond B3 organ with the rotating Leslie speaker. You know about the Hammond organ? It's like one of the great sounds of American music. It was invented for black churches that couldn't necessarily afford a pipe organ, and so Hammond invented this organ, and it had a nice sound. But Don Leslie thought, well, maybe I could improve upon this, and he developed this rotating speaker, and the high frequencies come through a horn that goes one direction, and the other direction, the low frequencies, there's a baffle around that low frequency speaker, and it creates that incredible vibrato, that tremolo, and you hear it in R&B and blues, and you hear it on Bob Dylan's Like a Rolling Stone. It's like a really iconic Hammond B3 part. But Hammond, who had invented the organ in the first place, was furious that Don Leslie thought he could improve upon the original design, and they were lifelong enemies. But it's one of those great sounds in American music. Anyways, back to Iggy's Tea House. They didn't have a Hammond organ there. They didn't have a Steinway or a Moog synthesizer. He just had racks and stacks of Casio keyboards. I don't know if there's some kind of professional grade Casio out there, but these were more like the Salvation Army grade Casio. And he would play them, and I would open up, and people would come out of the woods and check out our show. And one time, this is when I was in middle school, one of my friends, he came down, he brought his uncle, who had just gotten out of prison for the second time. And since I couldn't sit inside during the break necessarily, I was out there, and he was smoking a cigarette out there, and I got to hear some of his story. He had been a fighter pilot during the Vietnam War. He had flown missions in Vietnam, and when he came home, he knew he was going to need something to do to keep himself out of trouble. And he got a hold of a little plane, an airplane,
and he filled it up with bales of marijuana. I know we call it cannabis now, but bales of marijuana, and he filled that plane up, and he took off from Creswell, Oregon, which is just south of Eugene at the bottom end of the Willamette Valley, and he took off and he flew over the Cascade foothills, over the clear cuts that Jimmy Carter once mistook for the damage from the eruption at Mount St. Helens. That's a true story, it's not even a joke. And he flew up over southern Washington, and then the Olympic Peninsula, and Vancouver Island, and the Great Bear Wilderness, and somewhere high above southeastern Alaska. He pushed his cargo out of the plane, and he watched it fall, and it landed on a sandbar in the middle of an uncharted river where a couple of grizzly bears were preparing their lunch. And he set the plane down upstream. There was a wide spot in the tundra. He pulled out this little raft. It was kind of like the air mattress I slept on last night. It kind of hold the air for most of the night. He set off downstream. He picked up his contraband cargo, and he floated down one of the channels of that river until he came to a bay where icebergs were calving off of glaciers, which is something people don't talk about at blues shows much anymore. He floated across the bay with the icebergs, and he came to the other side where there was a little town. People in that town were already growing marijuana. He needed something to do to keep himself out of trouble. I could be a bandit from the 7 Dials. Man, I don't pay taxes, 'cause I never fight. I love my aeroplane, 'cause she's got style. I don't do business if it doesn't make me smile. I'm a treetop flyer, a soul survivor. I can fly any cargo that you boys can pay to run. Man, the bush league pirates, they just can't be done. You can fly down into the canyon, and you might never see the sun. There's no such thing as an easy run for a treetop flyer, a soul survivor. People been asking me, hey boy, where'd you learn to fly that way? It was over in Vietnam, chasing NVA, and the government taught me. And they taught me right, you better keep your head down. You might be alright as a treetop flyer, a soul survivor. Well, there's things I am and things I am not. I am a smuggler, I could get shot, not gonna die, and I'm never gonna get caught. Yeah, I'm just a flying fool, an aeroplane is way too high for a treetop flyer, a soul survivor. Well, I'm a coming home, flying low and last. Promised my baby that this one is gonna be my last. I get the ship down, I tie her fast. So when some old boy walks up and says, "Hey son, you wanna make some fast cash?" And I'm a treetop flyer, yeah, a soul survivor. Will you help us sing it? Come on. A treetop flyer, oh yeah, a soul survivor. Hey, a treetop flyer, ooh, yeah, a soul survivor. Treetop flyer, and I work alone.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm not in this.
Okay. Touch it.
You can take a trip next September when the aspens start to change. Down to southern Colorado, leave behind the suckers in the front range, and go out on the Arkansas River, past the gypsum mine. Well, don't you remember when you were a kid and you could fly? Baby, don't it feel good to be free? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I said, baby, it's just you and me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I don't know how that you could know this. There's this thing that you do when you smile. Yeah, it's like your whole soul lights up. Your eyes get a little bit wild, and the way that I am feeling, maybe it's hard to explain. Yeah, it's like every time that I see you, feel like taking off my clothes and dancing in the rain. Baby, now I feel good to be free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody sing it, come on. Baby, it's just you and me. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They say things happen for a reason. Oh, but man, I can't go for that. I needed something to believe in. Love's all I ever had. his friend, but he was 16 when he was accused of an unspeakable crime. And his family, they were pretty much broke, and the lawyers told him to plead guilty and do his time. And last week, they arrested this other guy who looks just like my friend. Now my buddy's out on good behavior. He's wearing the same shirt as the day that he went in. Baby, don't I feel good to be free? Yeah. Come on now. Baby, it's just you and me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let me hear. I wanna hear somebody say yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Hey, big baby.
I met this woman, she's from New York City. She's still on Broadway in her mind. She's living in the room next to my grandma, and they're both about 95. And her theater, it looks like a lunchroom, and the actors never know their lines. She's directing a play inside a play inside a play inside a play, and every night is opening. Baby, don't it feel good to be free? Yeah. Baby, it's just you and me. Yeah. Sing it again. Baby, to be free. Yeah. Oh, baby. It's just you and me, yeah. It's just you and me, yeah. Oh yeah, you and me, yeah. Oh yeah. Friends, we're going to take a short break right now and come back and play another set of music. And we do have some of those CDs from back when the internet was made of wood up there. And if you want to take a couple home, maybe as a holiday gift for somebody, I know a lot of you already have them, but we still have even more than you have. So I got to leave it and take us out. All right, we'll see you for a second set.
So, just so you know, there's coffee. The large coffee urn is caffeinated coffee, and the smaller white tin cup is decaf.
That's right.
Remember to watch your step up again. Thank you.
So if you want to take a
Yeah.